Welcome back, students. Now I'm going to show you how to create an assembly drawing. Okay, so I'm going to go File, New, and make sure you select Metric here. Okay, and you're going to come over here and we're going to scroll down until we see this. ANSI, which stands for American National Standards Institute, IDW, Inventor Drawing File. IDW stands for Inventor Drawing File, and you can see our units are millimeters. So select this and select Create. All right, now, this is a very large sheet of paper. This is size D. I want to change the size to a size A. Come over here and do a right click where it says Sheet 1 and do Edit Sheet. And when you do this, this allows you to edit the format of your sheet. We're going to make it a size A, and we're going to make it a portrait, and we're going to select OK. Notice that we got all of our part files down here. Look, here's our parts, here's our assembly, and here's our drawing. All right, so now go to Base, and when you do, you'll notice that something pops up here on our drawing. It's actually the assembly. And I'm going to put it in isometric view, and that's the isometric view I want. And I'm going to move this up about right here. I'm also going to change the scale of this. Let's see what 1:1 looks like right there. I think that looks good. I'm going to leave it just like that. And I'm going to say OK. Now, if you want to shade this in, you can do a right click, edit the view, and come over here to where it says Style, and we're going to select Shaded, and then select OK. Now we want to create a parts list and balloons for our assembly. And what I mean by that, go to Annotate, and I want you to go to Parts List. All right, and then when you do this, it says Select the View. We're going to select this. All right, then select OK. And it says we want to enable it. Say OK. So now you see you have this. If you notice, it kind of snaps to this corner. If you move your mouse over, you can almost feel it snap. I'm going to do a left click. All right. And then do a right click and hit Escape. I'm not happy with the bill of materials yet. I just want to show you what we got here. First off, this is actually the description over here. The description should be in part numbers. We don't want part number. We want to keep item. We want to keep quantity. We want to change some things about this parts list. So go ahead and double click with your left mouse button and go to this first icon right here called Column Chooser. Click on Column Chooser, and what I want to do is well, I want to cancel first because I forgot to do something. We're not going to edit this yet. What I want to do is I want you to double click on this, and you see where it says description right here? I want you to type in exactly what you see here. So here, type in all capital letters, clamp, base, and then here, type in weight, plate, and then here, type in hardened pen, and apply, and say OK. See now, because I want to keep this, and I want to keep these the descriptions with this column here. Go ahead and double click on this, and we're going to go to Column Chooser again, and I want to go to where it says Part Number. Click on that and remove that, and then come over here to where it says Material, and we're going to add that. See, click on Material, and we're going to add that and say OK. And then apply and say OK. Now, this this is like working with Excel a little bit. You have to move this back up and anchor it. You might also have to take your mouse, hover over that vertical line, hold down the left mouse button and drag it out some. Because what's happening here, we have two rows. See, you can move that. So hold down your left on any vertical line. You can hold your left mouse button down and drag it. That looks good to me, but look how wide this column here is, and we want to change some of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this over this way some like that, and I'm going to pull this over like this, and I'm going to try to get that to fit down in there like that. Now I'm going to zoom in. You can rotate your scroll wheel, and you can try to get those two vertical lines to line up right there. All right. Now, notice that these are lowercase letters over here. Mr. Morris doesn't like lowercase letters on drawing, so go ahead and double click on this again. And we're going to, here, we're going to type in, click on this. I don't know why it won't. Type it in gold, all caps. Let's get rid of this and type in steel, alloy, all caps, and bronze, soft tin, all caps. Say okay. All right, now you may have to maneuver this again. See how it added an extra row. So just pull that over that way some, and you might have to pull this back a little bit like that. Anyway, it's going to take some practice. You'll get it. All right. Now, we're going to add our balloons. And what I mean by balloons, go to balloon, and then select balloon again, and then click on this part right here. You see it drags out a balloon. Do a left click, right click, continue. Come over here and click on this part, drag out a balloon, do a left click, right click, continue. Come over here and touch off on this pin and drag a balloon out. Left click, right click, continue. Just hit the escape button because we've only got 3 parts. All right, so there's the balloons. Now, what do those balloons mean? They go with our bill of materials. This is part 1, right? So you go down here and that's part 1 or item 1. And it says that's the clamp base and tells what material it's made out of. Then you go to part 2. That's item 2. How many do we want of that? We want 1, and it's a weight plate, and it's a steel alloy. And then we have our pin here. Item 3, which is a hardened pin. Okay. Now we need to. I'm scrolling out with my scroll wheel. I'm holding the scroll wheel down, moving the. You can move around some. Okay. I want to zoom in on this area right here. We need to fill this out. Okay. So I'm going to go to right over here. I'm going to do a right click on this. I'm going to go to iProperties and go to Summary. Summary, I want you to type in the title of this, and this is a clamp assembly. And the subject is CAD 241. The author is you, so put your last name, not my last name, put your last name, all caps. The manager is Mr. Morris, so you put my last name, all caps. And the company is Virginia Peninsula Community College. Now, you don't have to put anything underneath this line. You can. It's not going to show up on your title block, but I would leave it like that. Go to Project. Down here where it says Designer, put your last name, all capital letters. engineer, put your last name, all capital letters, and then authority, put my last name, all capital letters. Okay, then go to status, checked by you, and click on the date. Engineer approved by you, check on the date, and manufacturer approved, put my name, Mr. Morris, check on the date. And just do a save and apply and close. Now you can see that the title block is filled out. So I want you to do a file and then save and then hit save again and say yes to all. You might have to do it, say okay, then you might have to hit okay and then yes to all. All right, so that's our first sheet. Okay, so we need to add some dimensional data to this too. So we're going to do a right click on this sheet, right click, and do a new sheet. Mr. Morris, why are we going to do this? Because we're going to go to File, and we're going to open up the clamp base. Say Open, and that's not what I wanted to do. I'm sorry. On sheet 2, we got to be active in sheet 2 right here. We want to place the view. I'm sorry. So you want to click on sheet 2 and go to place view, click on base, and we want to click right here, this little file folder, and we want to click on the clamp base, open, and we're going to maneuver this around a little bit so that we can see, you know, maybe that's going to be our front view here. And then say okay. All right, so we got the front view here. Now, if we want to project this, go to projected, and you're going to click on this view and drag it up. Click, come back down, move over to the right, click, and do a right click, create. It's important to do that right click, create with your mouse. All right, now we want to go to annotate, and we want to put in our center marks here. So we'll click on this center mark. We'll click here and here. Always have to have a center mark for your holes. And then we have one here on this arc, and then one here with this arc. All right, I'm gonna do a right click, okay. Now I'm gonna go back to this center line here. Actually, this one called a bisector. Click on bisector and click on this line and this line, and then click on this line and this line. And let's see, and click on this line and this line. That puts a center mark or a center line in between your holes as well. Right click, cancel. Now, if you hover over these lines, you'll see little green dots appear. Hold down the left mouse button and drag those down like this. You can drag them down. Okay, these are the center lines for the holes. All right, I'm gonna do a right click, escape. Just hit the escape button. Now, so that's the first part. So sheet one's our assembly right here. Sheet one's our assembly, and then sheet 2 this is our detail. This is our first part. Notice on the assembly, when we go back to sheet 1, part 1 right here, it tells you what it is. It's the clamp base. If you go to sheet 2, there's part 1. Now we got to create another sheet. So do a right click and say new sheet. Now we have 3 sheets over here. Sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3. There's nothing on sheet 3. We got to go to place views, go to base, and go to this little file folder here. And this time we want to open up the weight plate. Open. And I'm going to let this be my front view here. I'll make it 1. So I'm going to project this. Now, if that's too big, you can always come back down here, do a right click, go to edit view, and we're going to change the scale of this to 0.75, let's say, and say okay. All right, so there is that part. I'm going to do another projected view of this. So I have my isometric up here. I'm going to do a left click, right click, create. Notice it's not shaded. If you move your mouse, you'll see a red rectangle appear around the part. Do a right click there, go to edit the view, and you can shade it. Click on this button right here to shade your isometric. Okay. So we got our assembly. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let me go back to where we were just at. Okay, let's see. What did Mr. Morris do here? All right, so here we are. I closed it out. I'm sorry. We're back in the into the first sheet. Like I said, is the assembly. It's balloon. It's got the bill of materials. It's got the title block, and then we have sheet 2, which has the base, and then we have sheet 3, which has this part here, the weight plate. All right. And to move these around, all you have to do is move your mouse near the part. You'll see a red rectangle appear. Just hold down your left mouse button and reposition it. Sheet 3, this is sheet. We got one more sheet. Do a right click, select new sheet here, and go to base. We're going to click on the file here, and we're going to click on the hardened pen, and we're going to open, and that's mighty big. That might be too small. We'll try 2. And select OK. This is our little pen. You can do a right click in here, edit the view, and you can make that maybe a tad bigger so you can see it. Now I'm going to do a projected. I'm going to come over here and project the right side, do a left click, right click, create. And we're going to project this view here, up here. You come up to the 1 o'clock position, right? You just pull straight up and move over to the right. Do a left click, right click, create. If you hover near the part, a red rectangle will appear. Do a right click, edit the view, and select on shaded, select OK. All right, so there you go. There's sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, and sheet 4. And when we come back on the next video, I'm going to show you how to dimension all these and finish this up, okay, to submit this. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon.